the Attorney General then will need to move forward either through a judicial process to move forward the concerns on whether these are legal or illegal, or the adjudication act process by which they go through a fair hearing process through the Department of Revenue and Taxation. So that's not been taken away, and we're obviously waiting for that to happen.
That's Acting Governor Dr. Michael W. Cruz speaking on the due process which should be given to the gaming establishments on Guam. However, Deputy Attorney General Pat Mason says the task force did give enough time for due process to these distributors, adding that the notice was given a month in advance regarding non-renewal of their business licenses. With a year of investigations for the task force, Cruz says it only took as long as this past weekend for the executive branch to order the renewal of the licenses.
Our legal counsel felt otherwise, and that it seems that a certain amount of fairness needs to be put into play. Some of these businesses have had their licenses for 15 years. I think that they have certain rights. Again, this is not an issue of whether I support gambling or not. Let's make that very, very clear. This is not a gambling issue. This is an issue of fairness and due process. We still have this opportunity to be able to go through this process, but I think that they needed to be afforded that without affecting their businesses.
But Mason argues that two business owners, Guam Music Inc. and D&D Games, did file an appeal, whereas all due process rights under the Administrative Adjudication Act were afforded the business owners, as referenced in the notices of non-renewal of licenses and registrations issued by Rev and Tax. Mason adds the court's involvement also was part of that due process.
So as this due process continues, and after hearing the statement from both the Attorney General's office and the executive branch, we wanted to find out what you and the community had to say about this gambling and gaming issue on Guam.
I'm pretty sure, they should not stop that, because already it's been on island for a long, long time. And why just now they're bringing something like that up, I mean, I believe it's not fair, for the rest of the people that use it for amusement, So I believe they should not stop those things, Just give the people a chance, just to have fun, as long as they're doing it the right way.
I think so. I agree on that, because, if we continue on with those game, what, in the Philippines we have this gaming thing in. But right now here in Guam, it will just make other people, used to be gambling instead of, divert in some more productive way.
It tends to leave some people going and spending money for things that are not really necessity. And
still brings in revenue. So get the revenue to come in, but just regulate it.
Although the licenses for these gaming distributors are good for the next year, Cruz adds they will no longer be allowed to distribute or apply for new gaming machines and devices.
We also put a moratorium on any new applications for any new machines, right? Because, but more importantly, I mean, the Attorney General has her place to be able to take care of this and either take it to court or I understand also that they've already scheduled a hearing on this particular issue.
The two parties that appealed have a hearing on the non-renewal of their licenses scheduled for August 1st. Mason concludes that Guam law explicitly prohibits the licensing of gambling devices. Nick Delgado, Pacific News Center.